Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to show you this guitar. This is the Enya Music Sonic JT. And if you are not familiar with the guitars from Enya Music, they usually build guitars made out of carbon fiber composite, and they have like built-in, let's call it smart features, like a built-in speaker and built-in amp and effects simulations. Means you don't really need an amplifier to play this guitar. You can simply press this button and then the guitar turns on. And what you hear comes out of the guitar. But yeah, that's usually the concept of the Enya guitars. Like they have different versions. A while back I reviewed acoustic guitars and also the previous model that came out, the Enya Inspire, which is a really cool guitar. And now they have a new version of the Sonic, and that's what I'm gonna show you today. And to be fully transparent with you, Enya Music is sponsoring this video, but this has no impact on the content and also no impact on the opinion that I have about these guitars. So again, this is the new Sonic JT. This is a signature model with some different features, because you might have seen already this one. This is the Nova Sonic, like the original Sonic model, which was the first electric guitar model from Enya. And the Sonic JT is not just a different color, it has some different features compared to the standard Sonic. And I will show you the differences in a minute, but first the general specs of the JT. As I mentioned before, the material of this guitar is carbon fiber composite, which makes it very resistant to temperature and humidity changes. And the whole shape, as you can see, is like a standard single cut shape. It's not that thick, like not your standard Les Paul thickness. It's way thinner than that. The neck profile is a V shape on the lower frets, and on the higher frets it goes to a C shape. Then you got Enya branded tuners, no locking tuners, standard tuners on this one. Then you got the 0 fret design. You have that on all the Enya guitars as far as I know, at least on the electric ones. Then you got no big inlays on the fretboard. You got the JT inlay and you got the Enya inlay here on the 12th fret. And JT means in this case Jack Tamarat. I hope I spelled that correctly. It's a guitarist from Thailand, and yeah, this is basically his signature model. So that's why you can see the JT on the 5th fret and you got the Enya logo on the 12th fret. You got 22 frets and you got your truss rod adjustment wheel here on the body, which is always very convenient. And then you can see 2 humbuckers, standard bridge, and then you got your knob to turn the guitar on and to set the volume. So this is as on all the Enya electric guitar models, nothing new. And you got the toggle switch, you got neck pickup, middle pickup, bridge pickup, and here you have a tone control. And of course here's the built-in speaker, and it has 12 watts. And now compared to the standard Sonic, what you can see on the first go, of course, is the finish. Like on this one we have a very special finish, like a sunburst kind of finish, and then these blue things, you know, on the bottom of the body, which I thought looks a bit weird at the beginning, because like why would you mix blue with orange and the gray, or whatever color you want to call it, like dark gray. But after a while looking at it and playing the guitar, it's actually pretty cool, because it is so unusual. And I kind of like it. And the first time I saw it, I thought this is an LED light. Like when you get the guitar, there are some pictures inside, you know, like a little manual, whatever. And I thought, wow, how cool, this is an LED, a blue LED on the bottom, because you know, you have the LED on the knob. And I thought maybe this is whatever addition, but no, this is like the paint. And yeah, I think it looks cool. After a while, you know, at first I thought, it's a weird color, but now I really like it. So that's the first difference. Then you can see both guitars have humbuckers, of course, but these are different humbuckers. On the standard Sonic, you got uncovered humbuckers and you got an Alnico 5 humbucker on the bridge position and an Alnico 2 humbucker on the neck position. On the JT you have a ceramic humbucker on the bridge and an Alnico 5 on the neck. And you also got the pickup covers here, which to be honest looks a bit more high-end because these are also not your standard nickel covers or something like that. Like they have this very high quality look, which I think matches the guitar very well. Same as the bridge, you know, like it's probably the same bridge, but the color, you know, here you have the matte black and here you have this glossy kind of thing, which, yeah, again, looks a bit more high quality. Okay, so you got different pickups. Then the rest, like neck and all the frets and everything, feel the same, and from the spec list I saw it's the same profile, and the guitars also play the same. Like I couldn't feel any difference, you know, just from the neck feel, which is the most important thing. Like I think the body and everything and the neck are completely the same. Tuners seem to be the same too, just like the same with the bridge. Like the one is like more glossy and the other one is matte black. But now the more interesting things. I told you this one has a tone knob, and on the other Enya guitars like the Standard Sonic and also the Inspire, you don't have a tone control. And this one has a tone control. That's a new feature. You still can split it. It's not actually a split, it's for the neck humbucker, switching between series and parallel. So that's what you can do with that. There's no effect on the bridge humbucker, only on the neck. But that's also in the Standard Sonic. But now this one is also a tone control, an actual one, which is cool, I think. And this is the 12 watt speaker, as I told you. On the Standard Sonic, you have a 10 watts speaker. Means this speaker is more powerful, and this really helps if you play with the onboard speaker, onboard effects, and yeah, it helps to hear you better in the room. And then one thing that is new and so far exclusive on this model is that you have more amp simulation models available. You have an app for this guitar, the Enya app, I will show you later. And on the previous electric guitar models, you could choose two different amps, one clean amp and one high gain amp. And now on this model, you have 10 amps you can choose from. And I will show you them in the demo in a few minutes. But first I want to show you how this guitar sounds with the built-in speaker in the room. And now just a quick explanation if you are completely new to the Enya guitars. Once you turn this guitar on, you have this button and you see this LED around the button. And when you press it, the LED changes. You have 4 colors and each color is a different sound preset. Green is usually a clean sound. Then you got that dark blue, which is overdrive sound. Then you got the lighter blue, which is a distortion sound. And then you got purple, which is a high gain lead sound. These are the 4 presets which are usable on this guitar without any app. You don't need to download the app for having that. Just for you to know, and that's what I'm going to show you now with the built-in speaker sounds. Okay, now a quick overview of the Enya app. And you use the same app for all Enya guitars. So it doesn't matter if you have the Cyber G, one of the electric guitars like the Sonic, or any acoustic guitar. It's always the same app. So in this case, we choose the Sonic, or more specifically the Sonic 2026 in my case. But I think if I choose Sonic, this works as well. And then you can switch the color if you want, but this doesn't matter at all in the end. Important is now to turn on the guitar and then press connect, and then you can see it here, Sonic JT, and you connect. Then you need to turn the phone screen because it is in horizontal format. And what you see now here are the main presets. We are in the high gain bank, and there you got distortion, overdrive, clean. And on each of those banks you got 4 presets. The default mode is always the first preset. So when you buy this guitar and you go only on the guitar, you're switching between the presets, you always got the first preset in each bank. And here, for example, I changed it to the third one. And you just do that by selecting this. And then whenever you turn on the guitar, when you go to the distortion bank on the guitar itself, then this preset is on. So if you want to change that, you need to use the app. And then let's say you want to edit a sound. You choose it and press edit. And then you got the amp, equalizer, modulation, a noise gate, delay, and reverb. If you want to turn off a certain effect, you simply slide up or slide down for turning it on. And here on the modulation you have some different options. So you can choose tremolo, vibrato, or chorus. And on the others, not, like they're very simple. But what's new here on the amp section is that you have a lot of different amp types. On the other Enya guitars, you only got 2. Then you can save the preset if you want, or you go back. And then what else you got? You have a mixer, so you can set certain volumes here. Then you got tools, and there you can set up the foot switch, which is a Bluetooth foot switch. And this lets you switch between the 4 presets with a foot switch. So if you really want to perform with that guitar, then this is really useful if you want to switch between different sounds. So you can switch from clean to overdrive or from overdrive to high gain. That's a really cool thing with the foot switch because you don't need to click through all 4 presets. Let's say you want to go from clean to high gain. You need to, click through overdrive and distortion to get to high gain. And with the foot switch, you can just select the right foot switch. That's really cool. So you can set that up. And then you got settings for factory reset, firmware update, and auto shutdown. Yeah, and that's basically the Enya app. As on the other Enya electric guitars, you have some different connectivity options. So as you can see here, you got your standard guitar jack, so you can plug this into an amp, just like every other guitar as well. And then you got a headphone jack, so you can hear the built-in sounds through the headphones if you don't want to use the speaker. And you also have a USB-C jack, which you use to charge the guitar. Yeah, that's a thing. You can charge this guitar, or you need to charge this guitar if you want to use the built-in sounds. And you can also use that to connect that to your phone or to your computer to record directly. Means this also works as an audio interface. And that's a very handy feature as well. If you want to record on the go, you could plug this into your iPhone, for example, and use the camera app and film yourself. And you got the sounds directly on that audio track from that video. And that's a pretty cool thing. Okay, now I'm going to show you some of the direct sounds. Means the guitar is now plugged into my audio interface directly, and the built-in effects and amp simulations are turned on, so you can see the light is green. And I will just go through some of the pre-installed presets. Okay, now I will guide you through the new amp models. On the previous Enya guitar models, the Inspire and the normal Sonic, you got the Deluxe Clean and this 100 dist amp. And yeah, on this Enya Sonic JT, you have all these amps on top of that. I'm in the overdrive or in the high gain bank, and I can't choose the Deluxe Clean here. That's not possible. I need to go to the clean bank to do that. But I will stay now here in the high gain one because I want to show you the other ones. And these are mostly overdrive gainy amps and not clean, but one or two of them are also clean. I can use them on that bank. That is weird. I just can't use that clean one in this bank. But yeah, I will go through all the amps now anyway. And one thing, I turned off all the effects except of the reverb, just a subtle reverb. And I got the settings pretty neutral. So yeah, you can hear the difference of the amps. Okay, now I have turned off the built-in amp and effects modulation, so you can see there's no light here going on. But the guitar is plugged in into an actual amp, the PV Classic 20 combo, and this one goes into the 2 notes Torpedo Captor X, and I will record that into my DAW. So you can now hear the guitar without the built-in, amp simulation features and stuff like that, so you can hear how the pickups actually sounding and how the guitar itself sounds with an actual tube amp. First, some clean tones, and the tone just has a subtle reverb from the amp itself. Now, just for comparison, the standard Okay, now I switched to the overdrive channel in the PV, and yeah, let's hear some drive tones. Alright, that was my video about the Enya Sonic JT, and in general I have to say this is a great guitar, just as all the other Enya models that I've played so far. And what I mean with that is when you pick up this guitar and you strum the first few chords, you can feel that this is a very comfortable and easy to play instrument, and that's what I highly value on an electric guitar in general. And of course what also matters a lot is how it sounds plugged in, or with like the built-in sounds through the speaker. And I have to say, I really like the pickups. They sound a bit warmer than the standard Sonic pickups, but I don't like them more now than the others. It's like just a different flavor of tone. I think they look way better with the covers on this one. Like they look a bit more high-end, I would say. So for me, there's no quality difference in the pickups, between those two models, the standard and the JT. It's for me more like a looks thing, and like the little sound difference you can adjust with the EQ or pickup height or whatever. So I wouldn't take that into consideration if you are deciding between one of those two models. And then what I mentioned before, the looks are really cool. Again, like the blue thing could be, a bit weird for some people, but the more I see it, the more I like it. And yeah, I think it's a very unique look, definitely. Then of course, the speaker and the sounds, it's like what makes this guitar special. And I like that you now have a more powerful speaker in this model, just as in the Inspire, which also has the 12 or 15 watt speaker. So this is a pro, definitely, compared to the standard Sonic. And then you got a tone knob, which I really like, because sometimes I just like to cut off the high frequencies, especially if I'm using the bridge humbucker. That's now very convenient, to have a tone knob. I really like that, because on the other Enya models you have this one as a volume knob, and here you have it as the tone knob. And then of course a big thing also are the new amp models, which are so far exclusive to this model. The sounds are great, and you have now a big variety of tonal options with 10 amp models, of course. What I would love to see is an overdrive pedal in the signal chain. That's something that I would love to see, because I love using overdrive pedals to boost an amp, or just to give it a different drive flavor. I think that's a thing that I would love to see in the signal chain in general, in the app, And I'm not sure if I'm liking the idea that the new amp models are only for this model. I'm not sure if it stays like that. Maybe, the Inspire and the standard Sonic also get the new amp models. I would love to see that, to be honest. But I also get, the idea from Enya Music to keep it exclusive for this model. But let's see. I'm not completely sure how they will handle it in the future, or how it was meant to be. But so far I can see that only this guitar has the 10 amp models. And then one thing that some people might dislike in general on a guitar like this, it's not specific on this model, it's that you have to use the app if you want to have like all the sounds. I mean, the good thing is you don't need to use the app. You have 4 sounds and you don't need to use the app ever. But of course, you know, if you want to set up your own presets and change the sounds, then you need to have the app and you need to make an account, as far as I know. And I know some people don't like that, to, you know, mix like apps and stuff like that with guitar stuff. But I mean, you buy a guitar like that for those things, so it isn't really a negative point, because again, if you are in the market for such a guitar, then you know that you have an app and that you set up your things on the app. And if you don't like that stuff, then you are not looking for a guitar like that. But yeah, just a thing I want to mention, of course. But to sum up this, I need to say that this guitar, and I would say like all the Enya electric guitars, but this one specifically, because I really like that guitar, how it looks and how it feels in general, how it sounds. These are not just gimmicks, you know, like I know this is the perfect practicing guitar, you know, like you can take it and start playing immediately. You don't need to plug in anything, no cable, no headphone amp, nothing. You can just start. And that's the quickest way to, you know, start practicing and start playing, which is a very positive thing. But again, this is not just a gimmick. It means even if you're not using the built-in speaker and the built-in sounds, if you use this guitar just as the hardware, you know, like just the pickups and like as a normal electric guitar, and you plug this into your amp or your modeler or whatever, then this is still a great and very usable guitar. Like, it's not a complete thing with the features, it is already a complete thing without the features. So that's what I want to point out. Like, you can take this guitar for a gig and plug this into your amp and you will be super happy because it plays well, it sounds great, and it's very reliable, also because of the material. So just for you to know, these are the perfect practicing guitars, but not only that, they are great guitars on their own without all those features. When it comes to the price, this one, the JT, is of course a bit more expensive than the standard Sonic, but still it's in a very affordable range. I think it's roughly about 550 euros or dollars. I'm not completely sure, so make sure to check out the links below. I will list all the models so you can compare them. But again, it's still a very affordable price, and I know that they have discounts very often, so you should keep an eye on that. Sometimes you get them like 20% off, which makes it an even better deal, of course. Alright, that was pretty much it. I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any further questions, let me know down in the comments, and also let me know your opinion about this guitar and about Enya guitars in general. I would love to see that in the comments below. And again, you can find all the relevant links down in the video description. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you are new here, so that we can see each other in the next video.